Alright, welcome back to Adventures in Numerology, Volume 3. Volume 1 was about Adam, Volume 2 was about Eve. Volume 3 will be about the woman known as Adam's first wife in some stories, in some people's beliefs, Lilith. We're going to go back to the Babylonian Talmud, which is a story, the 8th, 10th century, that gives the credence to Lilith being the first wife of Adam, and the idea of there being two creation stories in the Bible and in the Jewish books. And, although this is outside the canon of the Christian belief system, we will explore this story anyway because Lilith in modern history has made a resurgence, and she's such an exciting character, and I believe she deserves her own story, of course. So without further ado, let's get on with it. We're going to go ahead and use the Pythagorean numerology cipher, which is A is 1, B is 2, C is 3, so on and so forth. So L is 3, I is 9, L is 3, I is 9, T is 2, and H is 8. Then we'll go ahead and circle for each time we get the numbers there. So 3 once, 9 once, 3, 9, 2, and 8. Let's go ahead and talk about what is circled first. The 2 is the conscious emotions, the sense of duality. The 8 is the unconscious emotions and the sense of transformation. The 3 is the mind, the sense of action and initiative. The 9 is the sense of divine love and innate sense of karma and what you're supposed to be allowed to have in essence, which is going to have a huge part of this story. What Lilith is missing is the 1, 4, 7, which is the 1 is the personal identity, sense of resources, physical body. The 4 is structures of the concrete physical material world, logic and order. And the 7 is the bridge to the spiritual world and our sense of limits. Together, those form the physical material world plane. So we see in Lilith, she was somebody that actually literally was not attached to the physical material plane. And the 5 is the 5 senses. Pretty obvious here, 5 for 5 senses. And this is the ability to experience emotion through your physical body. 6 is intellectual creativity of the fantasy, and it's the top. This 654 represents the intellectual line of creativity. So here we see Lilith as somebody that lived in her emotions and was bound equally by her sense of action, initiative, and sense of divinely what she's entitled to and what she should be able to have. The story goes that Lilith and Adam are having their relations in the Garden of Eden, and Lilith constantly lays underneath Adam. And at one point, she, aware of her divine karma and her divine gifts, and with her sense of action and access to her emotions, she expresses the fact that she should be able to lie on top of Adam as well, that she has just as much right to do so. Adam, as we know, was ADAM, which in numerology is 1, 4, 1, 4. The 1, the sense of ego, identity. The 4, the concrete structure of the material world. So Adam was her attachment to the physical material world, while Lilith was Adam's capacity to feel his emotions and access his mind and his sense of what he's divinely worth. Together, they were supposed to make a great team, okay? And together they were supposed to be able to access their sense of limits and their physical body through their exploring of each other and their world. However, that's not what happened. Adam got very angry. Lilith left. Some of the stories say that some of the angels asked to bring her back, and she rebuked them. Some of the stories say that she went back to the Garden of Eden, and there was already another woman there, Eve, that had been created, and then she left at that point. Either way, it shows that there's, as well as Adam, there's a lack of a sense of limits here. And as we knew, there was a lack of attachment to the physical material world. Once she lost Adam in that sense, she was much driven by her emotions and her mind and sense of what she's divinely worth, which fits really well into the stories about where she goes, whether she becomes a positive figure in some of the modern day interpretations of her belief, or she becomes a negative figure in some of the medieval beliefs about how she would do different things that were negative to those that she didn't like and such. Anyway, If you liked the video, please like the video. If you learned something about the video, please comment about the video. And I really hope you enjoyed Adventures in Numerology today.